Well, the media seems to be stepping up its scrutiny a bit of President Biden here in recent days. Take a look at this. The New York Times out with this report. Biden loves to tell tall tales. We cut them down to size. Here's what it says. In President Biden's telling, he was a teenage civil rights activist, a former trucker, the first in his family to go to college, and the nephew of a cannibalism victim. All of these claims stretch the truth or are downright false. This according to the New York Times here. So we're going to bring in host of the Aggressive Progressive podcast. We've got Chirs Hahn, as well as Mick Mulvaney. Good to see you, gentlemen. Mick, of course, you were acting White House chief of staff for President Trump, and both of you guys are NewsNation political contributors. Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Anna. Morning, Chris.
So we've seen conservative media having a lot of fun with the cannibal one for a while now, and conservatives have alleged that the media has not been aggressive enough in fact-checking Biden all over the place. Do you think we're seeing a shift now? This is the liberal New York Times here.
If I get to go first, I will go first. I won't give Chris a chance to be that aggressive this morning. Look, I read the piece. It was fine. It's nicely done. Here's the difference: is that when Donald Trump said in 2019 that we're having the greatest economy ever, the New York Times called it a lie. They didn't call it an exaggeration. They didn't call it, a hyperbole. They said it was a lie, and they added it to the list of things he'd lied about. The word doesn't appear in the New York Times piece on Joe Biden. None of these things are lies. They're all exaggerations and half-truths and so forth. And that's fine. Look, it's a great piece. Congratulations to them for actually doing some fact-checking. But to say this is the same thing as how they treated Donald Trump is just not. It's not even close, except in their eyes.
Chris, I'll let you respond. Tall tales or lies?
I think every politician tells tall tales. And I will say about cannibalism, anybody who's ever been involved in a Democratic Party primary has experienced cannibalism. So Joe Biden is a survivor of cannibalism.
So it's true. It's true.
As Mick, and I'm sure it's the same on the other side, too. But look, it's one thing to, every politician stretches the truth about their biography. I've never seen one that hasn't. They all exaggerate. Joe Biden is no different than that. I don't see him out on the stump talking about sharks in Nevada and boats that might sink because they're a little too heavy. But I appreciate the New York Times trying to do what they can here on these kind of things. But let's talk about issues that actually matter to the American people. And the biographies, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, but we all of us were guilty of it. We remember things a little bit different in the past. Like the fish was this big. No, the fish I caught was this big. No, it was this big. But when you're making
anybody who's ever talked to Mick Mulvaney about his golf game has heard exaggerations many, many times.
He's sitting right here. Mick, I'll let you respond to that. And also, listen to this. Noted pollster Nate Silver is once again warning that Democrats would have been, quote, better served if President Biden had decided not to seek a second term and had some semblance of a primary process. So this all comes as his 538 polling site shows that president's approval rating is dropping to a new low. What do you make of these numbers and also of those comments, Mick?
The debate swings back and forth, doesn't it, Anna? I mean, 6 months ago, David Ignatius in the Washington Post, a leading liberal sort of megaphone, was talking about replacing Joe Biden. So is Ezra Klein, another leading progressive Democrat. Then after the State of the Union speech, which went very well for President Biden, there's a lot less talk about that. And everybody sort of said, well, I guess it's Biden. He's good enough. We'll stick with him. Now you're starting to hear these rumblings again. I'm even hearing rumors out of Democrat camps, and Chris will tell me I'm completely crazy about this, is that one of the reasons that the Democrats agreed to a debate before the convention is if things go really bad at the debate on the 27th. I don't know if I buy that, but I certainly hear that. My guess is you'll have debate back and forth. I think it's probably too late for them to change, but Chris would know more than I would.
Yeah, and Chris, people are saying that about Trump, too. If he's convicted, then he's not going to be the candidate anymore.
Right.
Are these the two that we're going to be voting on in November?
Yeah, the reason why there's going to be a debate in the end of June is so that the American people actually understand that these are your choices. Pick one, right? Do you want a guy who's kind of old and maybe exaggerates about cannibalism, or do you want a guy who actually tells his supporter he doesn't care about them? He just wants their votes. I don't know. Look, I think Democrats tend to be a little bit more cautious, and the term bedwetting comes up about Democrats in these kind of situations. Joe Biden's going to go out there and debate. He's going to have a strong debate. I think the expectations for him are incredibly low. And in politics, that's always a good thing. He's going to tiptoe over them, even with his weak knees.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.